We are live. Man, I've had some issues getting this audio working. Sounds like it's working right now. I think it's working. Not sure. Anyway, hope you're having a great Thursday morning here. I'm going to go with my Thursday thoughts. I'm just kidding. But today is the 80th anniversary of DDay. June 6, 1944. The United States Allied Forces invaded Normandy as France was occupied by Nazis. Freaking Nazis. But man, think about that. 80 years. 80 years. 1944. I certainly was not even thought of for the moment. Good Lord, it's like you're going to have to wait for a while. 80 years, you know, these World War II vets, you know, they're almost gone, you know. It's scary to think that, you know, we're not going to have a lot of these men and women to, you know, to remind us of the things that they went through and to keep it in the forefront of our minds, you know, that the things that they went through. I mean, at the time, that was the largest, you know, land, air, naval invasion. And I think the stat is, I believe it's 156,000 troops were dropped by the end of the day on beaches of Normandy. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe that Germans killed upwards around 4,000 of the forces that, you know, tried to land there. So, you know, I think about some of the sacrifices that these men made. Obviously, some that gave all, but you know, you hear the stories, and you know, also depicted in movies is when you have like it always seems like they have like a young guy that, you know, that dies, and somebody will say, you know, he was 15 when he joined, he lied to, you know, to enlist, or he was 16 when he enlisted, you know. It's like these men, you know, some of them were just boys. I mean, to me, it's mind-blowing to think about the things that they were doing at 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, you know. They're literally invading, you know, Nazis halfway around the world, and they're not complaining about it. They're not. Dude, this is something they wanted to do. They wanted to enlist. They wanted to go and fight these evils, you know, literally head on. And it's scary to think that, you know, when we don't have these men that served and fought, and these veterans that died, you know, I don't have that experience. I don't have that kind of well to draw from to be able to pass on to my children. I mean, all I can do is just watch as much World War II, read as much World War II, and just be just eternally grateful that such great men lived and continue to live, obviously. But you know, I often think of the sacrifices made for me specifically to live in this country and to have the freedoms that we have. And, you know, we can get into a bunch of things about freedoms we don't have, what government's doing, all kinds of politics stuff. Sure, we can get into all that, but for now, we'll just stay on to, you know, America. These men, they fought against Nazis. Other wars have been fought to conserve our way of freedom. And I think that some people, when we say that, like, at least for when I say that, sometimes it almost feel like people just think that's something you say. I can tell you, it's not just something I say. I'm grateful. I'm so grateful that such men live. While I don't fear man, I'm grateful for the men that God put on this country or put on this earth at the time that they did. And everybody fights a different battle. We have a different battle that we're fighting right now. And like I said, we can get into a bunch of different topics that way, but just sticking to D-Day and the sacrifices. I can remember things I was doing when I was 15, 16, 17, 18. And it wasn't fighting a war across the country, across the globe. It was a fun time. It was a high school sports and doing dumb things with your buddies and just getting out of school, waiting for practice to start from whatever sport it was that you're playing. Those are the things that I had to worry about when I was 15, 16, 17, 18, And yeah, just for those simple things, I'm eternally grateful that I can live in this country now, and because of those men that fought and some that died. So I don't mean to make it somber, it's but it really is. It's sad that this kind of evil existed, that these young boys were robbed of their very, very young adulthood, and that they were robbed of that time, and they were robbed of just living in peace. I understand there won't always be peace, trust me. I get that. But so I don't mean to be somber, but I am grateful. I'm eternally grateful. And I cannot imagine the horrors that they went through. And, some won't even talk about it. Most of them won't talk about it, in my experience. I'm involved in different things in my hometown. And they're just not the ones to tell you all about everything that they did or all the different things. That's just something you had to do. That's what you did. And you got to get it done. And there was a job to do. And it's not like the ones that were at home had it easy. They're having to keep things going so that our boys across the pond can get after against the Nazis. So I don't know. Those are just my thoughts as I wake up and get going, and just grateful. Grateful that I live in this country. I'm grateful that I can do whatever it is I want to do. To sound corny, if I can dream it, I can do it here. And I really hope that people still believe that. There's a lot of young kids that are just in their own heads. Just they don't have that mindset of, I guess you call it like a killer mindset, right? Like, get after it. The only one that's keeping you from doing all this stuff is yourself. Even now, yes, even now, you are the only one that's keeping you from doing whatever it is you need to do, that you want to do. Apply yourself, learn a skill, do something. It can still be done. It still is being done, and it can still be done. So, as you reflect on D-Day today, 80th anniversary, think on some of those things and go about your day and be grateful you can do it here while no one's firing at you while you're going about your business. So, anyway, y'all have a good day today. Take care.